we're looking on December, and we got the holidays upon us. But always a good time of year, and hopefully we can get out together a little bit more than we did last year with COVID, knock on wood, going away here.
Holiday cheer.
That's right, a little holiday cheer. Today we're going to do a year-end strategy recap. We're going to go through our top 5 areas that we think would be important to kind of do a year-end look at, and making sure that all your I's are dotted and T's are crossed here. Jay, let's start it off with you. You're going to talk a little bit about some Roth conversions and some capital gains, 2 things that you want to make sure that you definitely get done by the end of the year here.
Yeah, and so, kind of fun. Let's start right off with talking about some taxes, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's something that we always want to talk about every year, but it seems a little more pressing this year because there could be impending tax changes. And so that's a big topic we've talked a lot about. We've had several meetings the last couple of weeks just trying to get in touch with as many people as we can about should we consider Roth conversions or capturing some capital gains, right? And so with that, first one with Roth conversions, why would you want to do that, right? So from the beginning, yes, you're going to pay some taxes now because you're moving money out of an IRA. You've never paid taxes on it. Moving it into a Roth IRA, that's the conversion part. So recognize taxes now when we know what the tax rates are. We don't know what they're going to be next year, potentially. Maybe it'll be the same. I don't know. But then the goal there is anything that's in the Roth would grow tax-free forever. So trying to lock in a known tax rate now, it's very valuable if you are wanting to retire early and you want access to some tax-free income, those sort of strategies. So Roth conversion is very important. The other one, capital gains. So first, let's define that. That's where if you buy a stock, then here's the price, and then over time, hopefully the price has gone up. You have what you paid for it versus what it's worth now. That difference is called gain. So if we recognize that today, it has its own tax rate. Today, it's probably more favorable than it could be next year. So again, it's kind of saying, do we want to take taxes and pay them this year when we know what they're going to be, and kind of roll the dice a little bit and say, could they be higher next year? Let's try and take advantage of what we know it is. So those are 2 strategies we're talking to a lot of people: Roth conversions and kind of tax harvesting, some capital gains.
Yeah, well, thank you, Jay. So good to just if you're going to do some Roth conversions or capital gains, we kind of know what tax bracket we're in right now, and knowing in the future that could change a little bit on us.
Right.
All right, thank you. I was going to go through some year-end spending recap for people. So it's always a good idea when you get towards the end of the year is kind of reassess how you were spending your money, kind of going through a budget really again. And it's just making sure that your money is being spent in areas where you want them to be spent. And it's always just a good idea to do a reassessment. With any more that how we spend with everything kind of on credit cards, it's really easy to go through and click. It already categorizes it for you, just to do a quick check on that. And with inflation here that we have today, you might be spending areas that you didn't think you were going to be spending that much money. So how do you kind of move the needle on that and change some areas with that? And a little bonus, so some guaranteed income and portfolio income. Where are your essential expenses going versus kind of your play money? And probably a lot more is going towards essential than you really want it to, with everything seeming to be a little bit more expensive. But also portfolios are up as well from that point, so you might be able to maybe the withdrawals that you're taking off, maybe you can increase those a bit, or looking where maybe something is essential where it's not essential anymore, or it's not really that important to you. So it's just kind of going through a year in it and doing a recap on it and making sure that you keep your expenses in line. Mark, I think you're going to go through a little insurance checkup and maybe some gifting.
Sure. Thanks, Cody. So yeah, a couple things, at least once a year, not necessarily has to be done at year end, but if you haven't done it this year, it's a good time to do kind of a review of your insurance portfolio. And we talk all the time with clients about their investment portfolio, but they also have an insurance portfolio, which typically consists of life insurance, health insurance, could be disability, long-term care, and even their property and casualty insurance. And all those things need to be reviewed at least once a year. A couple examples, like on their life insurance, if our clients have cash value life insurance, we kind of want to look at how old those policies are, because kind of that engine inside cash value contracts, they've actually gotten more efficient as the years have gone on. So newer contracts can be more efficient than older ones. We also want to look at the spread between the cash value and the death benefit to ensure there's a sufficient leverage there. They have term insurance. How much longer is the term? If it's 18, 20 years old, sometimes you can actually get less expensive stuff now, even though you're older, than what you're paying in the past. All those things in your insurance portfolio should be looked at. Disability or long-term care insurance, do you have it? If you don't have it, should you have it? These are all things that we can help clients cipher out. And on the property casualty side, it's really what kind of coverage do you have? What are the limits? We're all homeowners. These are things that we all have to look at and our clients need to look at, because the last thing in the world you want is to suffer some kind of loss and realize I got to come out of pocket for a whole heck of a lot of money. So as it relates to the overall insurance portfolio, we can help clients review that, all those particulars. Give us a shout. We'll kind of walk through it. The second thing, which really is year end, is really kind of gifting strategy for year end. We refer to kind of the three tiers. There's the $15,000 annual exclusion gift, which you can give $15,000 to anyone you want to, or with your spouse, you can make it 30. So 30,000, you guys and your spouses, I'll take that as a Christmas present. You also have unlimited gifts if they go direct to educational institutions and to pay medical expenses to the provider. And that's unlimited. You can pay somebody, your kids, grandparents, siblings, bills or tuition bills directly, and you can do that in unlimited amount and not get into annual exclusion. We also have the estate exemption, which now sits at $11.7 million, which among all the things that you guys talked about, that's likely going to change here in a couple weeks. So if you are over or approaching in excess of, let's say, $6 million, because we think that's where it's going to end up, the estate exemption, if you're over that, now a lot of you might be saying, oh my gosh, I'm not over that. Keep in mind, if you own life insurance in your name, the death benefit, the value of the death benefit gets added to your estate. So there's still time to do some things there to take advantage of anything in excess of $6 million. So we'll be ready when it gets reset to 6. Other strategies, we have the qualified charitable deduction for anybody that's over age 70 and a half. So you can give money directly out of your IRA to charities. And one last reminder for 2021, for those of our clients who don't itemize and take the standard deduction, you still have a $600 charitable gift that you can make and put on your tax return, even though you're using standard deduction. So there's a variety of things at year end. We all covered them. But again, back to you, Cody, a lot of strategies that we can get done.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. And all important, there's so many types of gifting strategies out there. It's definitely good to be able to utilize people in our office to help guide you for the end of the year. And, it's just a good idea overall to just have a maintenance. So go through and check your spending habits. Are there any ways I can take advantage of, if you're in a low tax bracket right now, take advantage of that and know what you're going to be spending, and go through the insurance and make sure everything's up to date with that, especially with the beneficiaries. So yeah, it's just an end of the year recap, just kind of making sure you're not having any holes that you haven't uncovered yet. Thank you for your time, guys. Appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you can call, text, or email us, and we'll get back with you on that. And most importantly, let's go Blues.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. That's right.